Hey everyone, we've got a really unique opportunity whilst we're on the road here at Sydney Motorsport Park where the crew have a day off and we have the race car to ourselves. So I thought I'd take the chance to show you through the cockpit, talk about some of the buttons, some of the ergonomics in the car and why things are the way they are, and what tools I've got whilst in the race car to change setup and make the thing go faster. So we'll start with everything that's on the steering wheel first. Now the reason there are so many buttons on the steering wheel is because these are ones that we would use regularly whilst in the car, whether it be for a practice session or a race. The most obvious one, which you see us use a lot, is the pit lane limiter. So the pit button up here on the top right hand corner of the steering wheel, that's one you're going to see us use a lot come Bathurst in a few weeks, obviously with 6 or 7 stops. Every time we're coming in pit lane, you're going to be pressing that on the approach as we're braking up to the 40km/h line. And then as soon as we get close to that pit exit, we're on the pit button, ready to press that and release it and get out of the pit lane. The wiper, you can press it on and off just for a swipe, or you can hold it down to keep it on constant if the rain is constant. The reset button over here on the left-hand side, that's so that if I get a warning on the dash, I'm notified of it. I can jump on the radio, which is the panel here on the right-hand side behind the steering wheel, notify the team of the warning, but then I can also reset it and clear the dash. HLT, that's my headlights. So that one there is important during qualifying. Whenever you're on a flying lap, you have to have your headlights on. So that button there, I like to flick it on and off every now and then when you're trying to distract the guy in front. There's also a paddle on the left-hand side, which when I pull that, flicks the headlights on. Drink bottle, pretty obvious. The one on the left-hand side here is for my drink. Then the one on the right is the same button, but line locker. So that one's really important for the starts. So you can see when I press that, the green icon will come up on the Motec dash here, saying the line locker is on. And then when I release that, obviously all the brake pressure will be released and away we go for the starts. Pit confirm, if I've had a radio failure, I can press that button, notifies the crew back in the garage that I've got the call, and I'm just confirming that. Anything that's not on here is something that's one-time use. I guess when you jump in the car, you might press it and then never think about it again. And for those buttons, they're down here on the left-hand side, which is a little switch panel. For example, I mean, you've got the start button. Obviously, we're only going to be pressing that once, which is why it doesn't need to be on the steering wheel. Master on the top, ignition to the right of that, fire button, which is a really important one to know where that's located. I have been on fire before. Yeah, there's a couple other buttons there which really one-time use only if anything, but helmet fan, cool suit, pretty obvious, but they're ones that I wouldn't be pressing on and off, so that's why they're down there and not on the steering wheel. I'm sure that plenty of you have seen us swinging on these bars during a race when you're seeing the onboard cameras. It's our rear anti-roll bar and front anti-roll bar, and what that does, it controls the stiffness or the softness of the front and the rear of the car. The obvious one here is gear lever. It's a sequential gearbox, six gears, forward to go down and then pull it straight back to go up. Some tools there which are obviously essential for us to go fast. Now on those hot days, this here is a lifesaver. So this is our cool suit box. It's not an esky filled with beers. It's filled with dry ice with some pipes inside which water flows through. I plug a cool suit vest into this. So 2 pipes come out of a suit that I wear underneath my fireproofs, goes into these 2 plugs, and then that pumps the cold water through a vest, I guess, filled with veins, and the water goes through those and keeps my body cool. Now, if the water stops flowing, and it can happen, if it gets too cold, the water will freeze, and that means that the water that's in that vest gets to cabin temperature and you're effectively sitting inside a kettle. So it's a horrible feeling when it fails, but when it's working, it's a lifesaver, and especially at Bathurst, those long events or a street circuit where the heat's trapped between the concrete walls, this thing here makes your day a lot easier in the office.